Hello, everybody. Welcome. Just checking my sound settings. It looks like everything is good. So awesome. I realized that some of my stuff got changed because the OBS wanted to do an update. Oh, and it happened, but I hadn't checked my settings since I did the update. So hopefully everything is good and you are all here and hearing me. Ha. Well, I know you are here. I've seen already so B4 is here today. The House Urk and Monkey Power, who shall thus far be known as early today on this day, and then I suppose you'll probably go back to your regular name at some point. So welcome to Heart of a Hobbit. And I am your host, Little Redhead. I will be running around in Little Earth today. Let me bring that back a little bit, a little less volume. I am still getting over a cold, so I'm going to do my very, very best not to cough on stream, because I know that would be not handy for your earballs. But I'll probably stream for about an hour, and then normally I stream for about 2, and then normally I stream for about 2, and then before streams after me and does his stream plugging along for about 2 to 3 hours. So today I'll probably go for about an hour, and then he's going to go for about an hour or whatever suits his fancy. But he too is dealing with the same coughing and whatnot. So we will do our best not to cough at you. But at least there's some distance between us so you won't catch whatever it is we've got. Haha. So Narnar, good morning to you as well. It is actually afternoon here. The sun is set. It has set. It's that kind of like twilighty blue outside. It's very pretty. Not that color in the game. We are in Lindleby Homesteads at the moment, and it is definitely daytime in that sky. Very pretty. So this is one of my houses, my Lindleby houses. I have 2. And this one is 3 Floodside Road. So right here in the middle of everything, which is a great location, actually. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do when we move to the new server, because my absolute favorite location is 1 Wellforth Way. I'll show you that real quick. Actually, let me grab these ingredient crates. And then I thought what I'd do today is I'm going to do some of the further adventures, because that gives some really nice legendary experience gain. So that's what I'm going to do today. But yeah, so that's 1 Wellforth Way. Sorry, Floodside Road. This is 4 Floodside Road, which is also very nice. But sorry, I got turned around. So if I go this way and turn myself around. Oh, did it not? Oh, hang on. It was a little slow there. Let me come back. It only got one of the crates. Let me do the other crate. Wow, it is like taking its time. All right, we'll give it a minute then. Oh, the House Urk says the server transfer is stressing me out. We'll try not to stress out over it. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna stress out over my hair though. I just washed it like an hour or 2 ago, and now it's a mess. Anyway, yeah, don't let it stress you out. It seems big, but I think if you take it in bite-sized chunks, you'll find it'll be okay. So here's what I'm doing, and I have a list. Eventually we're going to make some videos, hopefully, before, and I will. I had some ideas, and I wrote out a whole bunch of notes, but I haven't scripted it out yet. And once we do that, we can start getting some screenshots, and then I'll do some voiceover, and we'll make some nice little videos to help you through this. But basically, there are some screenshots out there already. So, of the transfer process. So when you go to log into your characters, you look at the, before you log in, you can, actually before you even pick a server, you can pick the thing that's like transfer. Okay, and that will take you into the transfer wizard. From that point on, there are some lovely screenshots out there already. So I will probably review that as well in a video, but just know that don't wait on me. You've got some wonderful screenshots out there where you can see the process without going through it to begin with, okay? And basically what it is you'll have to choose, I'm just going to do this off the top of my head. You'll have to choose between things like, are you transferring your character, or are you transferring just the stuff? So for example, let me grab my Wenda so I can show you what I'm talking about. I just realized I'm out of Wenda. Haven't talked to her in 2 weeks. We need to catch up. Okay, so let me glob that and let me grab that. Plop that there. Okay, so shared storage, your vault, and your wardrobe. Okay, so these are all things that you have, right? And every character has vault and shared storage, and I think you can buy wardrobe. I don't, or it's VIP. I think so. I think not everybody has wardrobe, right? But these are things that you can choose, like different bucket groupings. So you can choose like your character and just your character and nothing else, in which case just your character and your character's vault, everything in the vault will transfer over. You can choose just the stuff, where you send like all your shared storage, all your wardrobe, and that also includes in your wallet everything that's green, because green is that server, not specific to your character, but specific to that server. So everything in green will go, which includes your mithril coins. So that's where you kind of want to think about it and be like, okay, the first character I transfer is going to take all this green stuff. Who do I want to take that, right? And so that's where you got to think ahead a little bit of where do you want those mithril coins to go. Okay. So those are some of the things you'll want to think about. I have done a bit of preparation already, and it involves a spreadsheet. So what I've been doing, just so you know my process, and hopefully we'll get a video about this out, but just in case I don't, you'll have this here. Excuse me. I'm logging into every one of my servers, and before I log in to a character, I'm just listing out all my characters. And then I'm going to each one of my characters, and I'm looking at what kinship they're in, and noting, am I the kin leader or am I not? So I go to my little social tab, I go to kinship. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I look at my rank. Nope, I'm not the kin leader. I don't have to worry about that part of the process. But I'm just like, okay, am I in a kin? What kin is it? Am I the kin leader? Do I have to deal with anything there? And then I'm also listing like, what houses do I have? Just so I know what I'm looking at dealing with there. My standard and my premium housings. Also, inside my houses, sometimes I have things that belong to other people, and so that's important to note. And before mentioned that I should take a note of the plugins that I am using and make sure those get set up to be, because for example, I have like deed tracker, all characters automatically have that loaded. So maybe making a note of what all I have here and all of that, just in case that doesn't follow, in case I have to redo it, that'll be important. Also, I did hear, and this isn't on my list, but Cordovan, I think, or Severlin, one of them said your friends list will not persist across server changes. Now, I'm curious if that's going to follow because a whole bunch of us are going and then we're still friends. Will we still be friends when we get there? But probably not. So I'm going to take some screenshots of my friends list so I can make that, put that back together when I get there. Okay, so then in my spreadsheet, once I have all my characters listed out, I've got like, okay, these are on the US servers and these are on the EU servers. And I'm starting to figure out who's going where. It's like, okay, you're going to Peregrine, you're going to Glamdring, you know, that kind of thing. And then deciding what inventory is going to go to which place. And this is something I'm still in the process of. But things like dyes. I've been collecting a lot of dyes. Does that matter who gets that? My housing carryalls, my other carryalls. I was on Legendary server, I was on a Nor, and I got a whole bunch of housing stuff from that. And when a Nor ended, I strategically transferred things to specific servers. So now I'm going to want to figure out where I put those things and strategically send those to the servers again. So that's something for me to look at. Yeah, and then I want to look at like my mithril coins, my other currencies. I have been making a little bit of a note like, hey, Rosenbloom, what all do you have? What all are you carrying? And what is, is any of this important? Like I have characters who are holding like a whole bunch of legendary item boxes, or the script, ancient script that you use to upgrade your legendaries. My ancient script keeps getting full, and so I have characters that are holding on to that stuff for me. So I have to figure out like, where is all of that and where is it going? So I'm doing a lot of preparation, and those are the kinds of things that I'm doing in preparation. So I would say, House Uruk, one of the ways that you can maybe take out some of the stress is to start looking at managing the information that you have, and do it in like a preparatory thing. It's just kind of like it's kind of like doing a little audit of your people, right? What characters do I have? Where are they? What do they have? And then figuring out where you want stuff to go. I mean, in this case, it's easier because we're going from many to a few. So in a way, it's just like consolidating. It'd be harder if I was going from one to many. That's what I did for Manor. So anyway, okay. So I'm going to catch up with the chat. So Narnar says, how many people do you think would have to stay active on Laurelin for them to keep the server? That is an excellent question. I know I see before had an answer that without any inside information, because we don't have any in it. We don't work for SSG, but we can just like make guesses based on having worked in business or worked in IT and various things like that. So B4 says it's in SSG's interest to not support 32-bit and 64-bit servers, and in the long run, it's in our interest too, because we want them to focus on the 64-bit servers. So I'm guessing they want to transfer to 64 before too long. That's my guess also. Wow, Monkey Power, you're going to start with 12 fresh characters when Orcrist launches. That's amazing. I'm not ready to start with new characters yet, but I have some thoughts on that. Let me come back to that. Yeah, before mentions it's not impossible for them to make a 64-bit server called Laurelin. Yeah, but I don't see that happening. I don't see them reuse. They have not yet reused server names from servers they have closed in the past, so I'm going to guess that's not going to do that. That they're not going to do that. Oh, Narnar says, just wondering if the true RPers would really put their foot down about having a dedicated RP instead of encouraged RP, if they'd make a 64-bit RP only server at some point. I really wish they would. Oh, hey, we have Raiders from Zenicat. Sorry, I'm a little behind there. Hi, Raiders from Zenicat. Welcome. Yeah, I know. I'm treating the new EU one, which is Meriadoc. I keep having to refer to my notes. I'm going to treat Meriadoc as RP, because it's basically Laurelin is going to filter into there, plus whoever else goes. I mean, like, Belagar is going to go there, I would guess. Most people from there. And then Cyrano, I expect they're going to have the role players from Cyrano come over as well. So we'll have a really interesting and kind of fun. I'm excited. I'm kind of interested to see what this mix looks like. But I think there's a lot of reasonably dedicated role players on Laurelin. So I hope that then Meriadoc is heavier RP than just encouraged. You know what I mean? So Christopher says, I really hope SSG gives us a public, what'd you say? List of steps when transferring characters. They do have currently an FAQ, but they recognize that it's a little unwieldy and a bit old. So Cordovan did say something about how they're working on updating it. So yeah. So oh yeah, Zenicat, we're talking about the great server migrations. Oh, House Uruk loves my UI. Thank you. It's a downloaded thing. Hang on, let me put the little blark here up. UI, I think it. Yeah. That I use the JRR skins collection, and then once you have it downloaded, if I can remember how to do. Yeah, there we go. You go to your UI settings, which is this one, this little tab here, and then you scroll down about 2/3 of the way down, and it'll say miscellaneous is the category, and it says current user skin, and most people it just says none because you don't have anything. But once you've downloaded some user skins, then you have options. And the one I'm using is the JRR Delving Hills Wide 2. I like the wide ones because it shows me all of where the buttons are and has stuff around them. And I like that version. I like those versions. So yeah. Yeah, can't B4 just write a plugin that does everything for us? Nar, I love that idea. I wish. Now I do know there's people working on stuff behind the scenes. I know that the Deco Demieux, Yao, did write up kind of a housing FAQ. It's not very long, so there's not a lot of detail in it, but it does go over like what do you do with your houses. So at least there's that. So you can go and check that out. That's out on Deco Demieux's website, which is nice. Before was says he's thinking about a helper program to move plugin data files for popular plugins. But then we got the flu. Yeah. Yes. And Before points out, I imagine many characters will be changing names. The friends list is actually not name sensitive, by the way. It does follow a character with a different name because I have changed a character's name. Oh, this character, in fact, this Rosenblum. She used to be not only a different name, but also a different race. And all of the people I had on my friends list remained on my friends list, and my name changed on their friends list. Yeah, it was really weird. But anyway, Before does remind me that he had mentioned that we'll hopefully make a little thing about in your plugins, that does not necessarily know how to deal with a name change. And so you'll have to do some manual stuff to deal with name change stuff if you're not changing your character's name to what it is now, So yeah, I think he's going to try and put together a little how-to on that because that's going to be a little bit more tricky. Yeah. Zenyka is, I'm excited for Meriadoc, especially if we get all the bands from the other servers too. I know, I'm excited. I think I'm really excited to roleplay with the French and the German folks who've been kind of off on their own servers for so long. So I think it's going to be cool. Narnar says, so you guys are used to having non-roleplayers on your server already? Yeah, Laurelyn definitely has some non-RPers. They hang out in World Chat. Some people do roleplay in World Chat, but World Chat's kind of where people go to just talk about real world stuff and to be kind of weird with each other sometimes. Like, part of the problem is there's some people who've been on the server together for like a decade or two almost now. And so sometimes they're just like horsing around with each other, or they're giving each other a hard time, or they're like, oh, it's you again, but whatever, And so sometimes that gives kind of like a weird vibe in World Chat, but anyway, yeah, so it's not all RP all the time currently on Laurelyn. It's just, but when I'm on Landscape and when I'm interacting with people, I definitely stay in character, so, or I try to. I mean, sometimes we get into some IM situations and it's just easier to drop back into out of character. Like if you're talking about writing a song or looking through your plugin data or something like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, whatever. So, Naratori says, I play Lotro pretty casually, so I'm not up to date with the world migrations. As someone on Laurelyn, what will happen to my kinship and house? Yeah, Before answers, the kinship will follow the kinship leader. Kin houses get sold on one and then they'll repurchase them on the other. So the way it works with kins is kin leader has to be slightly different. The kin leader has to go first. Well, when the kin leader goes, if they go first, then all the people in the kinship who transfer after them will be automatically re-added into the kinship. The kin leader does not get rid of the kinship, okay? They just, they stick with it. Because that way the data will follow them and they will then have all of the information about, like, how long the kinship has been around and all of that stuff. That stuff will persist. So that's really nice. Where's that link? I think it's in our Discord. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Did I put it in the how-to guides? Yeah, I did. Okay, here it is. So Deco Demieux, which is a wonderful website for housing stuff. So anything, like if you see any housing stuff in the game and you're like, man, where do I get that? How does that look? What does that look like? Like anything like that. I wonder if I can. Oh, the house isn't unloading properly right now. Ugh. Anyway, it's a whole website with just decoration stuff, housing deco, which is pretty awesome. So, One Welfirth Way, by the way, is my favorite house. I have this one in a different neighborhood, and it makes me very happy because I decorate it like crazy. One of the other things I love about it is its proximity to the center of town, and it's a deluxe house, so it has the extra space, and I like the yard layout, and it's my favorite house. But I may have to see if there's a different house that I can. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah. What was the other question? Oh yeah. So take a look at Yao's information there, the Deco website there. He talks about, and he checked in with the folks at SSG about this. So his guide should be completely accurate. And he about, do you sell or not sell? Normally, the way it runs is if you have a premium house of any kind, whether it's in Lindleby Homesteads or Belfloss or Rohan, the Dwarf Place, Erebor, any of those, if you sell it, you get back 90% of the value of what you'd paid for it. But with this transfer process, if you follow the steps that Yao has put together there, you're going to get 100% back. So that way you are not missing out on anything. So for example, let's look at this like one Floodside Road. Let's say I owned one Floodside Road. To purchase it, it would cost me 213 Mithril coins or 9 housing writs. Regardless of how I purchased it, I'm going to get back housing writs. That's how they cash you out. And so normally I would get back 90% of that 9, so probably 8, I would guess. But with this move, if you do it, because you don't sell it, you just go ahead and transfer, and they'll give you the writs back, is my understanding. You'll get that full 9 in this case. So Gypsy Tavern, hello, welcome to the server or to the chat server. Yeah, we're on a server too. We're on Laurelin. So that's how that's going down. So no matter how you purchased it originally, whether you used Mithril or housing writs, you're going to get housing writs back. Yeah. So be prepared for that, I guess, is the bottom line there. Oh, I just copied the thing. That's why I didn't find it. Sorry, I will do my best to continue with having a cough drop in my mouth so I do not cough at you. So give me a second to grab another one. Let's see. Yeah. So he says things to avoid. Do not sell your house before transferring. This includes both classic and premium houses. Your houses must be active to receive a full refund. Oh, active. I'll bet that means if I have a house in arrears, I won't get a full refund. We have some alt accounts that have houses, and I forgot to keep them paid up. And yeah, they're in yeah. So maybe we should get that done, or maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Okay, and then decorations linked to other characters or other accounts will not transfer with your character. If everything goes correctly, they should be sent back to the respective owners. But you can do this manually by clicking on it and click the Return to Owner button for the relevant decorations. So, for example, one thing I'm worried about is like, what if I have stuff that belongs to somebody else and they transfer off and they're gone, and then I transfer? Well, their stuff can't be returned to them because they're no longer there. That's why I'm thinking it's good to go ahead and send stuff back if you have stuff. That way they don't lose out on having that item getting back to their hands. So anything that's like precious, my precious, or like bound to my account, I might, yeah, anything I'm really like, I want to make sure I know exactly where it's going to go, I might take down and put on my characters. Just so I can, get it sorted out really easily. So like these ingredient crates, this dock skiff, stuff like that, I might just go ahead and put on Rosenbloom and have her carry it over to the new place. So yeah. Another thing is I probably will take like some screenshots and stuff so I could be like, oh, okay, when I'm putting it all back together. Yes, I should consider converting from arrears to a forwards or forwards. So yeah, so I'll probably take some pictures of, get some screenshots of where I've got things laid out so I can recreate what I like. Like I really like the skiff with the 2 ingredient crates. I think that worked out nicely, and with the little Hobbitland elder standing there and keeping an eye on things. The horse is like, hey, what's going on? These guys are over here eating some flowers. So those kinds of fun little things. Actually, I did a lot more decorating at my other house, my Welfirth Way house. I'm also thinking about maybe, since I'll be consolidating from, let's see, on the US side, I'm on 4 servers. And on the EU side, I'm on 2. So I'll be going from 2 EU servers to 2 EU servers. So it's a little bit easier to manage, I think. I just have to make sure I send one of each thing each direction. So like my ingredient crates, I'm not sure that I have any on any other servers. I'll need to double check that. Because I think over on Evernight, B4 had them for our group. And I don't think I have any others on there. I'll need to check Evernight, though. I have a ton of stuff on Evernight. I got to a point where my character's inventory was so full, and then my shared storage was full, and her vault was full, and I'm like, I'm just done playing. I can't play anymore. Which is not how you should really approach dealing with that. But I figure, it's an interesting time. Now, I have made an international move. Before and I moved internationally, so I say we did a move. We moved from the United States to the Netherlands. And we did it in pieces. But we got rid of almost everything. And that's why I say I, because he didn't have anywhere near as much stuff as I did. I had a lot of stuff, like things from my childhood, things from my kids' childhoods, like just stuff upon stuff upon stuff. So much so that we had trash pickup weekly and recycling, like paper and everything, pick up every other week. And we were there for a month. And I filled those bins up every time, and they went every time. Then it was getting towards the end, and we're like, because we're selling the house, and we had to get everything out of the house. This was a few years in. We came over first, and then we went back and sold the house a few years later. But so we got one of those big dumpster skiffs that you can get where they roll it in. They bring it on a truck and they drop it in your driveway, and then they come back and get it 2 weeks later or whatever. And we filled that up with the rest of my stuff that I was getting rid of. Because I'm like, the options were I ship it and I pay money to ship this across the ocean, or save that money, throw it away, or donate it if it's donatable, and get a new one on this side of the ocean. So I tried, or just get rid of things in general and let go of them. So that's what I attempted to do. So I'm kind of approaching some of this move in a similar fashion. Like, I have characters that I'm not really using, or like I've kind of settled into a particular look with some of my characters, and I have earlier versions of some of them, and I'm like, wow, that does not look like that character at all anymore, So I think there's definitely some of that, like, redoing and, yeah, letting go of some things that are just not useful to me anymore. So I think I might do some of that. So I'm finding it really fascinating. The Meriadoc and Orcrist side, which are the EU sides, those aren't going to be quite as difficult overall, I don't think, but on the other hand, they are a little bit difficult. Anyway, because there's only 2 servers that I'm on. I'm going just 2 servers. I'm like, okay. So it's like, kind of look at these 2 and be like, okay, I have a Rosenbloom here. Do I have a Rosenbloom on the other server? Okay, then 1 and 1. Done. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I have 2 Bjornings over on Evernight. I have 0 Bjornings here on Laurelin. So I'll just send 1 Bjorning to one and 1 Bjorning to the other. So I just have to figure out who's going which way. You know, those kinds of things. Because I think it'd be fun if I decide to do any Bjorning roleplay. Maybe, you know, there'll be new roleplay opportunities, I think, on the new server. So, you know, um, I'll have a Bjorning there. Why not? And then I'm also really looking forward to, because I don't go to Landreval very often, but I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing the roleplay community kind of gathering up there as well on the US side. And that one's going to be a little bit harder for me because, like I said, I'm on 4 servers across the US. The only one I'm not on is Arkenstone. But I have characters, or at least one, on Gladden, Brandy, Landreval, and Crick Hollow. So I just have to figure out where they're all going. Some of my original characters are over on Landreval, so I'll be just figuring out where they go. But most of my characters are going to go to the roleplay servers. I think I'm just keeping a couple like high level characters that'll go to the regular, just in case I want to do like some high level stuff with some people. But that's like my current plan. So that's what I'm saying is, if you are feeling at all stressed out about this, and I absolutely understand that's possible, maybe the way that I deal with uncertainty is data. I'm like, what kind of data can I hold on to? You know, what kind of information can I manage of my own in order to make this then make sense for me? So Gypsy Tavern asks, do you transfer character by character? That is what I have done in the past, because I was very specifically sending things, like, because when I was on Anor, I had specific furniture things that I wanted to go to different places, and then I sent the characters off into the different places. I think there is a checkbox. I need to double check this. I need to look at the screenshots again, or just pull it up. But in the transfer wizard, I think there's an option to transfer all characters. So if I was done and only had one more server that I was sending people to, I could do that. I haven't tried it before. They're not adding any new buttons, they said. They're not changing anything about the transfer wizard. So what's there is what's there, and that's how we'll utilize it. Oh, whoops. I'm a little too fast on the quick draw there. So I'm just doing the further adventures of Bilbo Baggins here. Because that's fun. Oh, what? Why? Oh, because of the thing. Yeah. What does this pop up? I now have on a mission weekly, because these count as missions. Oh, hey, before I forget, the Yule presents are still active. So I've been popping around to every server, because since they'll be consolidating, or since I'll be consolidating, and grabbing my Hobbit gifts every day. Oh, Landscape Soldier, because I want more Yule decorations. Oh yeah, so what I'm thinking about doing is, because I have premium houses all over the place, like on this server, I have a premium house in Belfalas, 2 in Lindleby, and 1 in Rohan. I never use the Rohan house. So I think what I might do is, once we get to the other side, is I'll buy probably 2 Lindleby homesteads, because I'll probably get those same 2 again, because we're trying to stay in the same neighborhoods with each other. And then I do enjoy having a Belfast house, but I don't necessarily feel committed to any particular address. So I think I will plan to get a house in a neighborhood, but I'll see, you know, what's available and who. Because here's one of the things I don't know, that's on my mind, is like in my Hobbit kinship, we have a lot of lore related to like our Hobbit neighborhood. And I'm wondering if, you know, other kinships on other servers, like over on Cyrano, for example, you know, are there kinships that also have a lot of connection to a particular neighborhood? And so I don't want to move in on somebody and they're like, oh man, this was ours and now there's somebody else here. What's the deal? right? So for the ones where I'm not attached to any particular address, I'll probably wait and see if there's like maybe put out a, see. I'm gonna guess we're gonna have servers. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have a Discord server for Lotro, an official Discord server. So I'll bet on there would be a handy place to do that. So probably like, I'll bet there'll be like a server channel. And I can check in there and be like, okay, who has a Belfast neighborhood with extra spaces and they don't mind, a Hobbit joining in, that kind of thing. Because I do like my Belfast house. And I like having one of the deluxe ones. I don't want one of the little ones. I like one of the bigger ones because I'm just used to how I have it decorated. I mean, I guess I could think about a smaller one, but I don't really want one. I like the bigger one. So I'll probably do that. And then I might just buy more Lindleby houses because I really like them. Now, I might save some mithril and or housing writs. You can't combine, but if I have enough housing writs, I could buy a house, or I could buy it with mithril coins, Oh, he's sending me off to go talk to his friend. There should be elven housing, premium housing, coming out this year, I think. They've been teasing it, so I think it's coming out this year. So I'm definitely interested to see what that looks like. I am tempted to just, I like having all the different premium houses. So there is a temptation to, oh wait, do I not know that skill? Oh, I don't. Okay. So there's definitely a temptation to get an elven house. I do have an elven character on the server, so she's in an elf kinship. So I might get one. We'll see. Gypsy Tavern says, what premium house looks like the deluxe one in Bree? I just won 200 mithril from the weekly chest. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That is a fantastic deal. So premium housing that looks like Bree. They didn't really give us premium housing that looks like Bree because the closest you would get would be Rohan. Because your options are Belfalas, which was the first one, and it's very like marble inspired. And it's got like high columns and high ceilings and all of that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't say that that looks like a Bree house. It is definitely not made out of wood. Yeah, and then the next one that came out was Rohan. And those are, definitely big wooden structures. They don't look quite like Bree. I mean, they definitely have that big Rohirric look to them. But that is an option. And you've got 2 different types of neighborhoods to choose from, which is really kind of fun. Because there's 2 different Rohan neighborhoods. There's the one that looks like you're in the mountains, and so you're like in the trees. There's lots of trees like this, and then there's like, it's really snowy in some places, and lots of hills. I mean, it really does remind me of being in the mountains. So that one's fun. And I like the look of the houses. The footprint of the houses is pretty much the same, but there are slight differences between the 2 different kinds of Rohan neighborhoods. One of them has a basement, one of them does not, for example. One of them has like a side room, the other one does not. I'm trying to remember the other differences. Oh, each neighborhood, the Rohirric neighborhoods, each neighborhood has a mead hall, but it also has a unique house. So the other Rohan neighborhood looks like it's kind of in the plains, and I think that's Kingstead Meadows, right? And that one has a house that's down by the river, and it has a little cave. It's like a little bat cave. It's really cool. The other Rohan neighborhood, the ones in the mountains, if you go up to the top, like elevation-wise, in the neighborhood, there's a house that has a big tower, and you can climb up. You can go inside and go to the top of the tower. So they both have some really nice attractive features to them. So I would say you could check those out. I actually did a video. Yeah, Guerinda says Belfast looks like sort of like bank vaults. You're not wrong. But over on my channel, let's see if I can find it real quick. I did some videos on housing. And let me see, playlist. No. Yeah, maybe you could find it, honey. My playlist where I did the housing tours. I thought I had a playlist for that, but I just did a quick look over on the YouTube.
The pre-Erebor?
Yeah, pre-Erebor. Pre-Erebor. Thank you. Oh, okay, maybe it's not a playlist, it's just videos. Aha, that's why I couldn't find the playlist. So yes, so I've got 2 videos there. Where I kind of went over the different housing neighborhoods, and kind of we could look at a whole bunch of different aspects about them, features about them, and so you can see the Rohan ones there. Probably a couple hours in. There's probably timestamps in the description. So, Gypsy Tavern, another way to visit those places if you want to like physically go and look at them. So here, I'll go there right now. We'll go to Brie. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go to Lalia's Market if I can remember where my little travel button is. Hello, there it is. Because that takes me by the Boar Fountain, and it's the fastest way to get there. So yes, Tellurian mentions there is a housing broker in Brie, and from there you can visit every housing region. But I would say also you could check out the video, and that way you could just visually go without having to move your character around, and you can kind of skip around in the video too if you want. But yeah, I'll show you where the housing brokers. Okay, so we're here at the Boar Fountain. So you've got your Wenda, you've got the Belfast housing broker there. You've got Filbert Fig, who is, by the way, only here for like another week or 2. So if there's anything you want from this guy, now is a good time to get on that. I have a lot I haven't bought from him. But I have the shoe emote, right? Yeah, that's all that matters. Okay, so we're going to ride south through town. And we're going to go towards the mayor's office. You know, the mayor's office where you have to go in once in a while and they're like, hey, thanks for taking care of things in the Shire. Please go to Trestlebridge. You know, that guy. So there's the mayor's house, or the town hall. So we keep going. And so, you know, you're like chasing letters around in this area. You've got this person over here, Tad, who's like standing on a box and, you know, talking about things. You've got the jail down there. Right over here is this thing called the broker's office. They added this a couple years ago now, I suppose, but it wasn't here the whole time. It's not been here the whole time. So inside here, we have some really nice options. Let me get rid of the names for a minute. So you see we have a whole bunch of different brokers in here. Each one of these is a housing broker. Some of them are for the classic housing, the non-premium housing. So like, this is Andy Brockhouse. He handles the Shire housing. We've got Rooney over here. He's the Thorns Gate housing broker. So those are the original, you know, racial housing areas. But then you've got the premium ones. And I kind of wish they'd put them in different rooms or something to make it more clear in case you didn't already know this. But so Burginda here is the Rohan Kingstead housing broker. And the other one is here, Sulaflad, and she's the Rohan Eastfold housing broker. So those are the 2 different Rohan areas if you wanted to check them out. So there's 2 things to know about this space. Okay, so let's say I want to go check out Eastfold. I can click on her, and under purchase a house, this is where I can browse and see which houses are available. So let's say I was really interested in a mead hall. So I can scroll down here and I can see there's 1 deluxe mead hall in this neighborhood and 4 regular deluxe houses. So, and then I can look at them. And let's say I really want to go look at this house. You can click on it. You can click the word tour house and it will teleport you to that house. And then once you're there, you can wander around the neighborhood and take a look at things. So that is really cool, and that is perfect if you are shopping for a house. Now, let's say though your friends are having a party and you need to get to their neighborhood, but there's no houses available for sale. How do you get there? Well, they added, this was great. I'm so glad they did this. SSG added this little ledger, which is right next to the housing broker for their housing area. So you click on the ledger, and every single neighborhood that exists for those houses on this server is listed here. So for example, let's take a look at the first house neighborhood she has. So she has Abernock, then Acklingham, then Akenstig. Okay. Abernock, Acklingham, Akenstig. Okay, they're all the same, but let's see. I'm looking for one that's listed here that's not listed over here, is basically what I'm doing. Although maybe the Rohan one wasn't the one to choose. That's so funny. Okay, let me look at the Hobbity ones. That'll be easier. I'll tell you, yeah, this will be much easier. Okay, so if I'm looking at, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, looking at the ledger, looking at what's available. The houses that are available for sale, let's go to to the R's. So we've got Bullroarer, Brackenacre, and then it goes straight to Branch Down. But Brambleberry is over here. Well, that's because there are no houses available for sale in Brambleberry. It's all sold out. So if you wanted to get there and you're like, hey, take me to a house that's for sale to get me into the neighborhood, that won't work because there's no houses for sale in the neighborhood. But you can click on the ledger and every single neighborhood that exists is listed here. So then you're like, hey, I want to go to my friend's party over in Brambleberry. Just send me there, please. Off I go. So those ledgers are fantastic. Okay, so let's say we want to go check out Rohan Eastfold. And, wait, is Eastfold where I want to go? Yeah, Eastfold. Let's go to Eastfold. And I'm like, ooh, I want to check out one of these mead halls. I've heard they're really cool. So I'm going to pick a place that has a mead hall available and be like, yeah, tour that house. It's like, vroom. So, Gypsy Tavern says, this is so cool. When I leave, will it port me back? No, I am now here. She is like, it's a one-way trip. She just sent me off, dropped me off, and I am gone. She's like, have a nice time. And then she's gone. So now I'm here at Ridge Road. I can go in the house. I can look around. I'll just show you the house real quick because I don't know if you haven't seen a mead hall. These are impressive. These are something else. I mean, just riding up to it, you're like, wow, that's a big house. Look how huge this thing is. So this is the main part of it. And then on the sides, you've got two sides that run the length of it. So you've got this side here. Oh yeah, I'll need to take mine apart. Well, I don't need to, but I'm going to. I'll take most of it down. And then you have this side over here. And then there's a loft. So let me pop over here. Yeah, this one's huge. The mead hall is a bit crazy. I mean, look at my little teeny hobbit in the middle of this giant mead hall. I'm censoring my words here. Yeah, so you got like a little landing, little loft up here, and you can look down on everything. And yeah, let me go break an ankle. There's also a basement in this one. So you can go down over here and there's like this whole basement section with like another 6 rooms down here. It's insane. But you're like, okay, maybe that's not what I want. So let me walk outside. I'm now in the neighborhood though. So I can go and look around at other houses or at least just look around the neighborhood. So maybe I'm like, okay, so I'm up here. This is where the mead hall is in this neighborhood. But these branches off are all these different houses, which, by the way, on the Lotro Wiki, before, and I did a lot of work of going around and making notes of where the different housing hooks were in these yards. We didn't do the inside, we just did the outside. But you can get a glimpse of the outside of the house, I think. Maybe not. Maybe we didn't do outside pictures. Like a profile picture of the house. But if you're like, oh hey, I just want to see, you know, other houses in the neighborhood, you can just go along the road, and each house, because this neighborhood has, it basically makes a circle, and then the houses branch off of it. So you'd be like, hey, what does this house look like? This one's really cute. I like this one a lot. This is 8 Ridge Road, and you can like ride around in the yard. There's a huge. I didn't show you the yards. The yards are honking huge, and they have amazing views. Ooh, cute. So there we go. You know, if you ever just wanted to kind of like look over other things in Rohan, you know, just if we wanted to maybe look at Eris from our backyard, as you do, and there's the rest of it, yeah. And then maybe you're like, okay, so you know, how if you want to, yeah, you can ride all around the neighborhood, and then the center of the housing area is here. So let's go to the center of the neighborhood. Every neighborhood has like a town center. I need to turn the other way. It's been a while since I've been in the neighborhood. I have a meat hall on Evernight, but I just don't use it, so I'm probably not going to actually buy another one. This house is also a good one. This 2 Ridge Road. One of the reasons why I really like it is it's right by the center of town. But I did buy, yeah, this is the mountainy one. I did buy the house up like somewhere up here. I think maybe one of these. And so I'll just like come rolling through the trees and just drop myself down here. Anyway, so you have a center of the town here, and you've got your like task boards, and you've got the different crafting stations and stuff. So that's really handy. You don't have to get those. You can just use the forge and workbench, and they have all that here. The only thing they don't have is a farming. They don't have a farm. So you do have to get a farm if you want to do any farming. So then if you're like, okay, cool, I'm enjoying this. I really would like to find house, you know, 6 Ridge Road. And you're like, okay, you know, can I find that house? Like right now it's showing me every house that exists, but you know, maybe I'm like, I just want to see the deluxe houses. So I'm going to uncheck the mead halls. But that doesn't really help me find a specific house, but oops, I said off everything. But you can look and see like, oh, this neighborhood has a lot more in it, so maybe it's going to have like the house I'm looking for. Would you say you got 200? 200's not quite enough for Rohan, I don't think. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Check the wiki. Oh, you have 400 total. Yeah, you could probably get something. Hang on a second. Daughter asks, can you buy a house in a snowy area? I thought there was snow. Let's go up this, on the edge, this peak way. I think that has snow. Let's make our way up there. Oh, I just wandered off into somebody's yard. Sorry. We'll just traverse the landscape. Because that's what we do. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, you can put some really big housing items in these yards. It's insane. I probably should find the road again. Okay, we're close. Not that way. This place has, as they would say, topography. All right, there's a road. Okay, cool. Let's get ourselves back on track. So, following the road, I think that's, oops. Nope, that's not where we're going yet. You won twice? Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I have gotten it once in like the 6 years I've been playing. And it was really early on, so I had no idea like how special that was, which is even funnier. Now I know. Here's a fun thing too: is if you have a house in Rohan, um, there's a neighborhood quest chain you can do to earn reputation with the neighborhood. It goes really fast, but you can get a couple of housing decorations out of it, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, here we go. Well, I guess, yeah, it's kind of snowy. I was gonna say, or it could just be the rocks, but yeah, it could just be the rocks. But it looks snowy. Yeah, Gypsy Tavern, it is quite rare. Like I said, I've only gotten it once in the entire 6 years that I've been playing. And like I said, it was really early on that I got it. Oh yeah, here's some snow. We got snow. So this is the special house for this neighborhood. It has, you have this area over here that you can decorate. So this has a couple of decoration hooks here. Oh, like they put a little mirror out here, for example. And you've got like insane views from up here. It's just amazing. Um, and then you've got like the main house. Okay, hang on. So you've got the house here, and all of the Rohan houses come with two doors, so you can have a place for two different um, what's that? Doormats, which used to be a bigger deal before you could put doormats anywhere. So you've got a doormat there. You could do a door. You know, you've got a door there. I wonder if we can go in this person's house. Do they have it open to people? Let's find out. Oh, possibly. Now you have also the ability to buy lighting for these houses, so you can make it a little bit later. So this one has like a main level that has this room, it has this room, and it has this room. But then there's also a basement that goes all the way through. So you've got a fair size basement room here, and then another basement room here, and then that one's kind of more of a hallway, really, but you know, but I still decorate it. And you've got another room here, and then you can come back up. So there's two sets of stairs, and there's an upstairs. I have this house, not this location, but I have this house, and then it goes up and up and up. So, feel a little weird running around somebody's house though. So we'll step outside. So, okay, so that's like the regular house, like you get like a normal house. And like I said, I have that house. But then there's also, this one has this special thing, which is this tower. Let me actually scoot back a little bit. So you've got some stairs, and then you've got a door, and then there's this tower goes up and up and up and up and up. So we'll go check that out real quick. That is not normal. That is huge. The Rohan houses are huge. So this definitely has more of a Belfast look, doesn't it? I don't know if they did that decorating, or no, it may already be like this. It's been a while since I've been in the tower. Okay, so we just go to here, and there's a door. And there's housing hooks on the inside. There's not a lot, but there's a couple. And then you've got this, and you can look out. Well, if you're not a hobbit, you can look out. Hey, I just want to see. Can I get on a mount? Oh, I can. And there you still have like crazy views from up here. There's a couple of housing hooks up here, I think. And you can actually jump off the tower. I'm pretty sure we've done that before. I'm not going to, because I don't want to crash and die. Let me show you the other Rohan one real quick, just so you have a comparison. I'm just going to go back to the broker house, because that's the easiest way to do it for me. Tellurian says, I did a probability run on Bullroarer. It took 3,000 mithril coins to get the 200 mithril coin Hobbit present. That's funny. Yeah, the mithril coins are kind of rare to get out of a Hobbit present. All right, let's see. So that was Eastfold. Okay, so Eastfold is the mountains. Kingstead is the plains. Which is that one that I really liked? Let's try Philly Lane. I can't remember if that's the right one or not. We'll have a quick look. In Eastfold, I like the house next door to the mead hall that has the nice view of the backyard. Nice. And I really like, excuse me, Eastfold. Let's see, is this the one? No, I was thinking of Mare Street. Okay. There, I'll show you. So you can see the difference already is it's very wide open and like, I don't know. It's just, it has a different, it's, you're in the Rohirric Plains, right? But you get this little barn. You don't get a barn in the mountains. Yeah, the Rohirric Flatlands. And there's lighting in here as well. So you can light this up and make it brighter. So you've got like a couple of stalls on the bottom, and then you've got this loft up here. And there's housing hooks in here, so you can decorate it up. And then you've also got let's see. You've got the, yeah, so those, there's hooks for the horses. I'm not even going to get into that right now. It's a special type of housing hook that you got, and it's cool. And again, you have two doors, but they're like facing the same direction. And so here we've got this room on this level, and then we've got the other door here. So that's this room on this level. And then the basement is slightly different because of the footprint's a little different. So you just have like, we've got this one here. Don't we have a basement on both sides or just the one side? Oh, maybe just on the one side. That's right. But we do have we still get the upstairs. So we've got like a loft on this side, and then, oh, that's it. I thought, oh, interesting. Okay, because I guess the barn takes up gives you the rest of it. But I mean, look at those roofs, like just cathedral roofs here. So it's, yeah, so the layout's a little different, and the way you would decorate, you know, it's kind of in pieces, is a little different. And this is smaller. I like it more. I think these are really cool. Let me see if I can mount it, and I'll show you. I want to show you the special one, which is okay. Yeah, we're going the right direction. So we want to go this way, I think. Nope. We just don't. Yeah, we're just gonna go cross country here. So here's another one, and I go and toured like the outside of a bunch of these houses on in that video that's linked over there. So you can see somebody's done a little bit of decorating here. So you get a housing hook that allows you to put mounts out here, so they just stand around. But that's a housing hook that you get with the premium housing starting with Rohan. So, is this it? No, wait, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I just love the lakes in this neighborhood. Like there's this cute lake here, and you could just sit here and fish. I love that. Let me see if I can find the special house, and then I'll show you the mead hall. Maybe it's this house that has it. Is it down here? No. Where is it? Oops. Nope, it's definitely not down there. Hang on. Oh, was it back here? Did I pass it? Let me go back. Might have been that house over there that has the cave. So it's got the same main house with the barn. So you've got both of those, as always. And then you get a little extra something. That would make sense that it would be one of the few houses in here that's already purchased. Yeah, 8 Colt Road, that does sound familiar. Okay, so yeah, so you come along here and then you've got like a little slip of grass that you can follow to take you down here. And there's a door. Where does that go? And you have your own little cave down here. And there is lighting. You can put lighting in here, I'm pretty sure. And so some people put bats and some people put like, you know, furniture and like you can just go crazy with it. So yes, you have your own little cave. It's so good. Yeah, Gypsy Tavern, the water in Lotro actually looks insanely good, but yeah, I need to pump the graphics up. Yeah, I have the post-processing turned off, actually. I could put that on. What? Oh, because I'm not in the right place. Post-processing effects. Let's put that back on. I turn it off when I'm doing like the drinking things and whatnot, when it makes your screen go all fuzzy, because that's just no fun when you're streaming. Like, who wants to see that? So yes, the House Uruk says, I've been playing this game since launch and I still can't believe how beautiful it is. I love it too. I am totally with you on that. To me, it still feels like I've stepped into a painting. You know, it's just gorgeous. So back when you couldn't use, when you had to do the doormats as a doormat, we set out all the treats in our neighborhood because we had a bunch of us in a neighborhood, one of these neighborhoods. And so, but because you have 2 doors, you could have 2 treats out. And so one of us had a house down here, and then a couple of us had houses up here, and one person had the mead hall. And so I used to climb up this all the time. So you have like more houses along here. But let's go up to the mead hall. You would put ale barrels in it. Yeah, it makes sense. It's a nice, cool place. You would, you know, seems appropriate. So the mead hall, we'll start from this end, has a bigger barn. Check out this barn. And it has a welcome mat. That's cute. Yeah, so you've got a little bit more space in this particular barn. Remember the other one had like 4 spots? This one has like 6 or 7. And you have the loft up above still. So a lot of space there. And then you have housing hooks all through here. You've got this little outhouse that you can't go into it, but it's an outbuilding. You've got the little area for the horses. You've got a well in the middle. You've got another building there that I don't think you can go in. I'm not sure. But then this is the mead hall. Oh, nice. They have a smoke thing. So again, it's a huge house laid out slightly differently from the other one. Oh, good. They have some lighting in this one. So notice there's no basement here. So we don't have that. But you do have the main big hall like the other one. You've got, you know, this area down here where it's like 3 rooms across that way. Brink, brink. And you have the 3 rooms that go across this way. And then you have the upper bit as well. So you can go up here. What I did with my mead hall is, oh, I like the columns, is I put like things hanging in midair and turned it into like a parkour course. And then there's like a mini parkour course that goes around the top here by the front door. It's kind of funny. So that's the mead hall in this neighborhood. And then let me get on my steed. I'll show you my favorite house, though, here. So the road you actually take to get into the... Here is this direction. Nice. Now, if I were to turn left, I would go to the front. Sorry, here I'll just show you real quick. To the center of town. Center of town is over here. And if you wanted to leave, you'd go out that way, and it takes you out to landscape. So the center of town is all this stuff over here. And you get Winda and all that over there. But I want to go the other way. No. There we go. We're going to go past this lake. Which, by the way, I think is gorgeous. I love that lake. It's very pretty. Whoops, don't go in it. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. All right. And then we come around here. And wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's a fun thing is there's like this little, I think there's one at the other place too, but there's like this little stage with seats and, you know, everything in the town. Like, so you could do events and stuff in here. And you can look out over landscape, which can be a little scary when you're like a level 10 and you know, you've bought, one of your other characters bought this house out here and you're visiting and you see like these red dots out here because the riders are out there. You're like, oh boy. But anyway, so just don't go out on landscape if you are, you know, a low level character in this area. So anyway, okay, so here's the actual road to get into this house. Oh, they put some trees up, pretty. So I love this one, One Mare Street. So you've got your stables there, and you've got the house here, like that, with the loft up that way. And then you've got your barn is over here. And then it's got this huge yard that goes around behind with a whole bunch of hooks and stuff in them. And you've got like some stuff that's already like comes with the house, which is cool, like that. Oh, look at these tents. Very nice. And then you've got the lake right next to you. So if you want to work on your fishing, you just got a lake right here. You can just do your fishing. So I like this house location a lot. That's one of my favorites. The row, although if you watch my video, I think I say, oh, I like this one a lot. And then I see another one, I'm like, oh, I like this one a lot too. Like there's a lot of really nice houses. I think I actually like this neighborhood better than the one in the mountains. So yeah, so in terms of pricing out here, can you find something for 400 or less? You probably have to check the wiki to double check because the prices are listed on the wiki. Hang on a second. RPG MMO asks if I've seen the new deed log. I have not. Is it over on Bullroarer? Because I have not taken
Typing it up right now.
Oh, Before is working on something about that right now. So nice. Over on Bullroarer. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I haven't gone over to Bullroarer to take a look. That is true. Hang on a second. Let me see. Rohan Premium Housing. So let's see. Kingstead Meadows. In Kingstead Meadows, here, and I'll put the link in the chat. So that's where we are now, is Kingstead Meadows. And if you scroll down about middle of the page or so, it has all of the addresses listed, and it tells you the mithril cost and the housing rate cost for each one of them. The lowest looks like it is 3 Colt Road. Oops. So we could go take a look at that real quick. Let's see, where is that? Over there. Okay. So let's ride. Oh, it might be this one. Are you 3 Colt Road? Yes. Okay. So this is the least expensive of the houses in this neighborhood, and it would run you 422 mithrils. So you would need to come up with 22 more. But we can approach it from the road. So you come in from the road, and already you can see you've got housing hooks that will get you to the road. That is so cute. I love it. And they've got a little vegetable garden. They got a scarecrow. Oh, that's so cute. Nice. So you've got your barn space there. Oh, Fox won the flowers. Cover. You can see the well that comes with every house. This one's a little tighter, close to the house. There's your barn. You can go in and decorate. So then you run out of your zone. So your zone goes to like basically this fence line, you know. And there's your house. I love jumping on stuff. Excuse me. So that would probably be the least expensive one. But I would say if this is your favorite neighborhood, you should just ride around and go look at every one of the houses and see which one you like the best, and then just, you know, maybe pick up the extra mithril coins to get the house that you want. So now if you're consolidating from a couple of servers, you might have mithril coins on one server and mithril coins on another one, then they're going to all end up together. So there you go. Yes, RPG MMO. I did see that. So RPG mentions that what they said over on Bullroarer. So Bullroarer is the test server. And so that's where they're kind of testing some things out. But what they do when they do that is they'll list out as a, like kind of like the update notes that you get once things come to the live worlds. They'll go ahead and post the update notes there of what they're working on. And so if everything goes well, that exact same information comes over to the live worlds. So one of the things they have in the Bullroarer notes, it says, of special note, in preparation for the introduction of the new 64-bit worlds, we are increasing the base number of character slots available to VIP and premium accounts. So VIP accounts with active subscriptions will have access to 12 free character slots, increased from 7. And premium accounts will have access to 10, increased from 5. Character slots for free accounts and for Monster Play characters are unchanged. But if it's going up from 5 to 10 for premium accounts and from 7 to 12 for VIP accounts. So it's an increase of 5 for those who get an increase. So that's really exciting because I know that is a quandary for some people who have a lot of characters spread out across all these servers, and now to try and consolidate them, they don't have enough character slots for everybody. Yeah. Oh, no Kato sightings on screen today, probably because she's sleeping under my desk, but she's active at the moment. We'll see what she decides to do. What you doing, baby? Are you getting up? I have a footstool under my desk, and she lays down on the footstool. So I just like stick my feet around her and stuff and put a blanket there, and she curls up. But she seems to be getting up. Oh yeah, she's awake. She has been full of it today. I do not know what is on her with her brain. Oh, and there's Casper. Oh, yeah, I do get a Casper sighting. Brief Casper sighting. I guess he's been sleeping on the couch that whole time. She's been like chasing after him and being a little bit of a butt for most of the day. I don't know what is up with her. And then she would stop and she'd start eating plastic. I'm like, don't eat plastic. That's not good for you. She's a goof. She's a goof. Yes, you are. But hopefully she'll settle down. I was like, is the weather changing? Like, is there something going on? Because sometimes that'll make them a little squirrely, you know? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So yes, House Urk says, wow, they really want me to make more alts. Yeah, that's kind of, so I'm kind of going through this thought process. Oh, here, let me see what you say. More character slots is always a good thing since they're, you know, it's funny. I would see the character slot sales, and I never like partook of that because I'm like, oh, I got enough. But now that I'm going to be consolidating, I may pay attention to those sales in the future. So K Masters welcome to the chat, asks, will we have to buy all our bags and character slots again on the new 64-bit servers? No, whatever you have will travel with you. So for example, my character, so shared storage, which is account wide, by the way, I have purchased the maximum, which is 350. So that 350 stays with me regardless of what server I'm on, regardless of what character I'm on. It's always, I always have that. Sorry, my hair's bugging me today. I did the same thing with the wardrobe. I have purchased the maximum that's available so far, and that puts me at 410. And that 410, because wardrobe is also a account-wide thing, sticks with me wherever I go, and all characters have access to that. My character vault, I have only upgraded as far as the non Locher Point coin usage. I just use like the in-game coins so far. So I have 120 spaces in this character's vault. That 120 will persist. If I buy more, that'll also stay with her. So that continues to exist with your character. So you don't have to worry about that. All those inventory bags that you have, I have the max also. That's an account wide thing also, so that's great. It stays with me, no problem. Yeah, so all of that will go with you. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. One thing to keep in mind when you do your transfers, first of all, I recommend doing a lot of prep work. So I mentioned earlier, I have created a spreadsheet. And on my spreadsheet here, I could just read it off to you real quick. I'm not going to try and share a screen because I don't have that set up. But I listed what region and then the server. So like, US Landreval, EU Laurelin, for example. And then I went to that server and I just listed out all the characters that I have on that server. So I went to like the Landreval server and I'm like, okay, I have an Adamantia, Arthaliel, Haxel, Laelil, Narna, Ogreenho, like all my characters. And then I wrote down what race and what class they are because I want to spread out my characters a little bit. So I'll come back to that in a second. And then I wrote down what level they are. And I noted what kinship they're in and are they the kin leader? Because if they're the kin leader, then I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently. Or at least I want to be paying attention to what they're doing. I've noted what crafting they do and are they in any guilds? That's not as important necessarily, but if I am in a situation where like, well, do I send this character here or do I send that character there? I can be like, well, these guilds are already covered, but these are not, so I'll send this one, that kind of thing. And then I'm noting, am I deleting the character or am I transferring them? Just in case I wanted to tidy that up. Are they keeping their name? So I know which ones I like definitely want to make sure that they keep their names. And then I wrote target server. Am I sending them to Glamdring, Peregrine, Orcris, Meriadoc, depending on if it's EU or US. And then I made a little note of storage, like, what do you have in your personal storage? Like one character has a bunch of these Yule gifts. That's important to know where she's going to take those. One character has a whole bunch of pipeweed, stuff like that. And then I actually made a note of their wallet. Not everything. This is overwhelming. But I was like, hey, what do I see in their wallet that sticks out to me? So for example, with Rosenbloom here, she's got 1,000 gold. That's significant. And she has a bunch of festival tokens, the white. Anything that's in white is character specific. Anything that's green is server specific. Okay, so just keep that in mind because that's important and that will come into play here in a second. So I kind of made a note. So with Rose, I probably wrote down that she has 1,000 gold and she has a bunch of festival tokens. I may have also noted that she's got a lot of landscape tokens because she does have a lot of those. Notice those are white. So I may have noted some things about that. And then I made were there any notes that I wanted to keep in mind about this character? My only race of man character. That might be important in terms of where I decide to send her. Or I have 2 Bjornings that are on a server together, and I have other servings that have 0 Bjornings. So I made a note that I want to send them to separate places. That's important to me. The green stuff is going to go with whoever's shared storage goes first. So that's something I want to be attentive to and be like, okay, you know, it'll probably go with whoever my main is. So I'll make sure I'm targeting, I'm paying attention to that. So all the green stuff, like the mithril coins, the delving writs, the pet harnesses, which are a decoration item, and the seed halters, which are also decorating items, the universal ingredient packs, those are going to go with the character who, that's part of the shared storage transfer. So keep that in mind. So Zandia joins the chat, says shared storage is separate on all servers you have characters on though, right? So if they are full on all servers, they won't fit in one storage on the new server. So the shared storage, if I am let's say I transfer this character and I check the box that says, yes, take all the shared storage, which includes shared wardrobe and all the money out of the wallet, all the green stuff out of the wallet. It's going to take, let me go back to the wardrobe. There we go. On my target server. So let's say I'm taking from Laurelyn here, and let's say I'm going to Meriadoc, because that is what's going to happen. When I get to Meriadoc, it's going to take all of the stuff that's in shared storage, and it's going to shove it in there. And it's going to take all the stuff that's in the wardrobe, because I'm going to say, yes, take all these things. And it's going to take all the stuff that's in the wardrobe, and it's going to shove it in there. Now, let's say I take a character from Evernight, because that's also EU. And they transfer it, and they've got a gob ton of stuff in their shared storage. That's also going to transfer in and go into this shared storage. And the wardrobe that I have over there is also going to transfer in and go into this wardrobe. Now, the wardrobe, it'll check for duplicates. So I'm not going to end up with like 2 Arwen's dinner dresses. Like, it's just going to combine it all together. If I have an Arwen's dinner dress, like in this case, I've apparently done it in a bunch of colors. Bullroarer's green, olive, orange, red, Rohan green, rose, turquoise, and white. Let's say Shire Peach. That's not on this list. But let's say over on Evernight, I have also dyed it Shire Peach. When it imports, when they combine, it's going to add Shire Peach to this list. So it's just going to add all this stuff together. Now, let's say it overflows. So let's say I bring in, 50 things that are not in this wardrobe already. So it's going to go from 398 to 340 or to 448, and the max is 410. It's just going to overflow. It's going to have everything there. It's going to go over the max for the wardrobe. It'll do the same thing for shared storage. So I've got 336 here. It can hold 350. Let's say I bring in another 300 because that's likely. It'll be at 636 out of 350. So you have this bulging shared storage and this bulging wardrobe. They will stay like that. It will accept these items, but I will not be able to put anything in until I get below that max again. So there's going to be a lot of, dealing with that. So don't take anything out if you want to put it back, because you're not going to have a chance. So that's how that's going to work. You will end up overflowing, going over past the max, and you won't be able to put anything else in until you bring that back down and tidy it up. So I hope that answers that question. And yes, people have done this repeatedly. This is a thing that is known. It will happen. Yeah, yes. Zandia says you can deal with sorting out after the transfer. Good to know. Yes, you can. It may get a little tricky as you're trying to figure out which character can start holding some of these things. But on my other hand, like, I, for some reason, have dyes sitting in here, which really should go into my dye carry-all. So hopefully, I can, if let's say I don't have a dye carry-all here for some reason, and I do on Evernight, well, once those combine, I'll have a dye carry-all. I'll have a whole bunch of dyes sitting out. Well, I can take my dye carry-all out, put the dyes in it, but then I don't have a way to put the dye carry-all back into my shared storage until I tidy that up. So, yeah. But yes, you could deal with it after the transfer. Might be a good time to make a few alts to just hold things, I guess. I don't know. Arvandrax Ox asks if I have a personal Twitch channel. I do. It's just, it's me. Oh, there we go. Thanks before. So yes, I'm Little Redhead. I do have a personal channel. I don't use it that often. I'm here more often than any other time, but occasionally I stream on my own. Especially if it's a different game, because if I'm streaming Lotro, I'll probably do it here. But if I'm streaming something that's not Lotro, sometimes I'll do it over there. Like I'm in the middle, well, I say middle, it's kind of early days, of a Planet Crafter stream that I'm doing just on stream. So I'm doing that over on my personal. Actually, it's been a while since I've been in there. They've added, they've done a major update, and I haven't played since then. So I need to get back in there, but I've been playing some other stuff. Anyway, who is it? Gypsy Tavern. I hope that helps out with your housing. Oh, by the way, do you know that, let me go to Wellforth Way. In the premium housing, starting with Rohan, Erebor, you know, I can't remember which housing it started with, but they have this thing, and I think they were going to actually port it backwards. So, what is going on here? Oh, because I ported it in too fast. There we go. They have a decorating item. Let me go into decorating mode. Called Ambient Environment. Currently, I don't have one on here, but so you can see that my environment looks like this. It is whatever's going on in the area, but you can change the way that the environment looks to make it something very specific. I think it's, let me see if it's in here. The lighting is here. Hang on a second. It's not there. That means it may be in my storage. Let me look. Oh, here's a fun thing, is the first character that transfers in there, it's going to name these shared storage tabs for that character. And then any character after that, like, it's just going to get shoved in there into the location. But so one of the things I want to do is make sure all my tabs are sorted correctly on the other servers. So everything will come in the same place. You know, it'll be pre-sorted basically. Because I didn't necessarily have them in the same order on every server, and so I'm going to end up with like housing stuff here and housing stuff here, and that'll just annoy me. Anyway, okay, let's put this environment in here. So I went and bought this 4-shell housing environment from somewhere. I can't remember where I bought it. But let me... So notice everything's changing. Like the shadows are changing. And we should be getting some snow, I think. Maybe it takes a minute. Maybe if I ride out and come back. Pretty sure it dropped snow because I was using that during the Yule time. So let's, yeah, we're getting a little jaggedy here. That's another reason why I know people are sad about having to switch to the new servers, but I'm like, I think the 64-bit servers are just going to be a little bit more performative, and that'll be nice. Okay, so here we should be able to see also, by the way. So out here we have this kind of, we can see the stars and stuff. So let me go into my yard. Well, I saw the stuff change. We can still see the stars. Sometimes it's a more dramatic difference, and I think it does get snow sometimes. Well, I like this one too because I got the water here. So I was being cheeky, and I got a big fountain, and so I stuck it over the water. I thought that was funny. So you can't tell if the water is the fountain or the water is the... Because there's no water in the fountain, and I thought that was dumb, so I stuck it by the water. So now it's like there's water in the fountain. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to wrap up here, and not too long. B4 is going to be coming on next. He's going to be talking about plugins. And it sounds like he'll be talking about the new changes coming to the deed log, and therefore also coming to his deed tracker plugin. So that's cool. Well, okay. We shall see. Oh, I can't get up there. I mean, I can. Might take a little work. Yeah, I gotta figure out if I have a good, like, second choice house, because this one's my favorite house, but are there others that I might like as well? I just love the proximity of this one to the center. That's part of the thing that really, like, makes me so happy. Spoilers, the new deed tracker does not make me think the deed tracker plugin is no longer necessary. Yeah, so the deed log is, yeah, okay, we'll see. Anyway, so if you have any other comments or anything that you want to put into the chat, now is your chance to do so. So this Friday, last Friday, there was no Court of the Rings because he was out of town. He had the day off. So this coming Friday, there should be a Court of the Rings again, I believe. Oh, I wanted to go the other way. I'm just curious if the other Wellforth Way would make me as happy as one Wellforth Way does. Would number 2 make me as happy? Because the main neighborhood that I'm in, 1 is already taken. And so would I want to take 2? Oh, so anyway, a thought I'm having is that maybe I will buy up a couple of houses and I could have one that's like, this is my Yule house and all the Yule decorations go there. And like another one like, this is my, you know, other house and then all the Halloweeny stuff goes there, you know, that kind of thing. And then I have like a main house where I put all my, you know, which is like my home. So I'm thinking about that. Cool. So this is the deluxe house for this neighborhood, and it's got like a little little thing goes down here, a little ramp, and you've got space there, and then you've got like a series of cute little rooms here. So a cute room, cute room, cute room. It has a couple of hooks in each one, which I often steal to do stuff in the big room. And then the other ramp takes you up here, back into that main room. Okay. I know how to decorate this house. All right, so 2 Wellforth Way could possibly bring me joy if I can't get into number 1. I will consider this. Now, where is it in relation to the center of town? Center of town is that way. If I just ride straight out, what happens? This is why we experiment, right? Oh, that ain't bad. Oh, that is spiffing. Okay, 2 is fine. I would be satisfied with number 2 also. All right, good to know. So, so I think I should... I'm going to check something here in a minute. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to send myself to one of my other houses. Distances are so long in Lindleby. Well, they are, except if you can get a house that is like proximity close enough. If you're on the higher places, you could just fall down sometimes. Some places you can't fall down easily, and that's one of the things I experimented with early on when this neighborhood came out. Because like over here, over on, what was that, Broadmead Lane, those houses are a bit high in elevation. And so my question was, could I just fall down and come up here? But problem is they're like up there. And you do, I mean, I could fall down into this, you know, and then just right across. I mean, I guess that's possible because it goes this way. I mean, the center of town is over here. So it's okay. But I think that other one could work. I will consider this. I guess I'm kind of curious. Well, anyway, I can do some of this later on. All right, I'm just going to go to our house real quick. Oh, wow. Okay, so this one's cool. It's got 2 doors. Which one is this then? So it's also deluxe. There's I don't think it's this one. No, it's not. There's one that has like the back is actually open and it's got water and stuff. It's really cool. So but that's not this one. I always forget which one that is. So. All right, so this is so this is what I was talking about where it's like, well, how does that work for going to the center of town? You kind of have to like drop down on somebody else's neighborhood or somebody else's house. But if it's your own house, then well, what, that's fine. And then you can't get across the river really easily. Like you probably want to just ride around like that. But that's not too bad either. Like that's got some good proximity. I just like the being in the middle too because I'm really close to everybody and like it's all in the middle. I like that. Yeah, I kind of wish that somehow like this neighborhood, instead of it being like a main road and then we just divide off of that, I kind of wish that it was more like a ring and the houses were in the middle, like dotted around the inside of the middle, and then like our yards went back behind us or something. So we still had like lots of decorating ability, but our houses, like our front doors, were a lot closer to each other. I feel like that would have been cozier, and I would have liked that. I'm really quite curious to see what the elven housing is going to look like. I'd be curious. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Awesome. I am going to wrap it up. So, haha. Thanks everybody for joining me, and I'm glad I didn't cough in anybody's ear too much, so that's good. Have a great rest of your night, and I will plan to be here next week. Since Cord will be streaming on Friday, it's possible we may have more news by Friday about like when the new servers are going to open. Yeah, so we may have more news. So if that's the case, we'll have more to talk about next Tuesday. So, all right, have a fantastic day, everybody, and I will see you next week. Stick around for B4, who is coming up next with his stream plugging along and talking about Lotra plugins. So, all right, take care. Remember to stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart and try to take care of each other, please. All right, have a great day. Bye.